Test. What's going on, yo? What's going on? Let me know how we sound and let me know how. We got a couple setups we're looking at. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes for some more people to hop up in here. Then we're gonna go ahead and start breaking this stuff down. Wi-Fi is bugging out a little bit. We'll make sure we still sounding good. Those just joined the stream. We have not entered this trade yet. This is a trade idea. Make sure you go ahead and hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal for your Telegram. You see on your screen, so we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link. Check it out. So we didn't take any trades as far as signals go during New York session. Volume, as we can see with a lot of these charts, even during the London session live, was just ranging for the part, as we can see, right? Only one that really did some moves was GJ. And again, we broke this down during the Sunday chart now as well as the London session live. Remember, what I was talking about during the London session live was either going to look for a retracement, going back down to 193.45, or was going to wait to see if price could break above a whole 194.05 as support. Now, of course, price didn't do this until after the 9:45 GBP news. I mean, USD news, because not GBP news. GBP news was 2 o'clock. The 9:45 USD news, which we can see right here, this was the 9:45 candlestick. Then the next 15 after that candlestick closed, we can see here 10 o'clock price broke that level and then immediately ran off. Right. So then after that, when the markets reopened, as soon as the markets reopened, me and the members went for a GBPJPY. TP5 got hit, caught a nice amount of pips. So right now we're going to be looking for a retracement, a possible re-entry on this, as well as we're looking at possible NAS buys right here. Right. So y'all was in the live, watched the Sunday chart analysis yesterday. I could have made some bread off of GJ. So as far as what we're looking for right here, same thing. We're either going to look to see if price can break and hold 194.70 as support. If it can do that, we're looking for buys going to 193.35, or we're going to look for retracement going back to 194.05. That's what we're looking at right here. And then as far as NAS100, we're going to be looking for buys if we could hold 21.70 as support. We're going to be looking for buys going to 23.20. All right, y'all, that's the game plan for right now. We got a couple other charts that we're going to break down in a second. These are the main two we're going to be paying attention to right now. Got a new video dropping for y'all later on today as well. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. Make sure to catch up to the videos after the live today if you're not caught up yet. All playlists are up to date. U15 about to pop up in a second, y'all. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop them in the chat. Rewind to maybe like 4 minutes ago, maybe 5 minutes ago. Let me see what time. No, like maybe 4 minutes ago, I broke down everything that's taking place and what took place yesterday. Again, we're looking at possible GJ buys and NAS100 buys. All right, so we're about to see how this 15 plays out. So we're paying attention right now to see what can hold this low as support. We see here yesterday in the middle of New York session, price broke above this level and then kind of just consolidated and chilled here. Rejected this level for the past couple hours, just broke back above. So we're about to see if we can maintain and hold this level right here. We hit TP3 on GJ yesterday as far as this setup. Then we got wicked out. So now we're going to be looking for a possible re-entry on this as well. Again, as far as news today, we have nothing going on during London or New York session, but when markets do reopen at 8:30, we do got Australian news for those that like to trade the Australian pairs. Yeah, so I really don't like how they look. Everything's just kind of rearranging right here. gonna start posting about it today, y'all. But I got a lot of stuff dropping the end of this month and going into next month. Y'all got a lot of stuff in store for y'all. I'm not even just talking about on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Like, you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, y'all already know what I'm talking about. A couple of things I'm talking about. But y'all gonna see I got a lot of stuff lined up, y'all. But make sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see this on Instagram playmaker underscore wait, TikTok underscore playmaker wait underscore. Right? Follow me on there. I post clips every day and post every day on there, as well as you'll know what I'm talking about if you follow me on there, right? But again, y'all, I told y'all the playbook's going to take over, and we can't be called the playbook without an actual playbook. You feel me? So I got some crazy stuff lined up for y'all. I was grinding all weekend. I finished editing it up. I got a couple more things to revise, but yeah, I got some stuff dropping this weekend for you. So make sure to stay tuned. New video dropping today on YouTube as well, y'all. Dropped a new video yesterday. If y'all didn't check it out, yeah, make sure to check it out after the live stream. And make sure to have y'all's notice on for the new post today as well. All right. Again, while we're chilling here, we're not just vibing to the music. We're waiting and looking for certain things for price to do or not do. So make sure to pay attention to the charts and these levels, y'all, as well as explore the playlist while we're here. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm looking at any charts, drop them in the chat. You already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. All right, that's what we was watching for. Again, was waiting to see if price was going to try to break the highs to the left or if it was going to retest for us. So we see price retesting, so now I'm going to let it retest and see if it can hold that level as support or not. So GU is about to show some possible bearish momentum. Again, if y'all watch the Sunday chart analysis, first link in the description, free signal, free telegram, we was talking about how we can see a possible reversal if we break past this last line of defense at 28.95. We start treating this level as a resistance. We can see a lower low come into play, which is why I got my alert here. So again, that's why I have my alert here and my alert here, because we can see short-term buys and sells here. But I don't really like to go for setups in reversal territory, because at that point you kind of just chasing price, rolling the dice, because you don't really know if it's going to continue to go that direction or not, right? I like to strictly only trade when we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. So if price breaks below this level and starts treating as resistance, we can see sells, and depending on how we react to these levels down here, we can see the actual downtrend come into play. As far as GU is concerned. So I'm just going to put this trade idea right here. And again, just waiting for price. Again, this is why we wait for price, not just to break levels, but hold. You see here, price broke the level, but when price retested, failed to hold as support. You see here, price broke the level, failed to hold as resistance. Right? Versus when we took the GJ setups yesterday, right? Look at these. Price broke the level, retested, held as support. When we look back in the past, look right here. So imagine if we would have took buys here, because everybody wants to talk about breakout trading. Imagine we would have bought and took this breakout trade. Look what would have happened. We took an unnecessary loss, right? And then people was probably thinking, oh, okay, now I need to go for sales. And then they would have took another loss. And then they're confused why price went all the way back up here. But that's why, again, it's important to understand the rules and the flow of price, right? Just like right here. Imagine we went for a buy here, would have took an unnecessary loss. But once price broke and held a little bit of support, that's when we went for a buy setup. You see what I'm saying? Got a new 15 about to pop up in a little bit. Make sure I like the live as y'all hop up in here, y'all, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So I don't want to split. Well, you know what? Fuck it. So I got a few coming up, but the one that I've been posting about, that's dropping on Friday, right? So I'm gonna be talking more about that in a video I'm dropping later on YouTube, as well as, again, make sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok. I'll be posting showing more stuff that's in it as well. I can't pull it up now because I've been practice doing it on live, and I ain't trying to show all my stuff and all that other stuff, but I will be showing more of it. But again, so this one is going to be going over all the important stuff as far as how to read the charts, right? So it's going to be showing you what I use to determine, whether we're still in an uptrend or downtrend, how to avoid fake outs, liquidity sweeps, as well as the rules to the uptrend or downtrend, how to know at all times, even price is choppy or wonky looking, what trend we're in. That way you know what the setups to go for. It's got a bunch of examples. I show a bunch of different chart setups. There's like pop quizzes in there. A lot of stuff in there. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm gonna be posting more about that later on. Though I know most people probably usually promote stuff for longer, but I'm like, hey, I was worried about getting it done, right? So I can promote that stuff and talk about it after it's done. So yeah, so that's that one. But I got a lot of stuff lined up. I'm not gonna talk about all the other stuff until it's already set and lined up. But that one is dropping on Friday. But I got a lot of stuff I've been working on. I've been telling y'all I've been working on a lot of stuff. Some of y'all believe me, some of y'all didn't, but y'all about to see what we've been up to. I keep saying we, but it's just me. Y'all gonna see what's been going down. So again, we're looking at a couple setups. We're just simply waiting for price to wake up. So another thing is, especially if those are new to trading, right? So there's 4 quarters, right? There's 4 quarters in the year. So if y'all don't know this is going to help y'all understand how things work, right? So the slowest quarter of the year was quarter 4, specifically November and December. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for it, but the main reason is because all the holidays, the New Year's right around the corner, taxes. So that's why they slow things down, but also because all the bank holidays, markets are closed, all that stuff. So that's why volume is super low. Now, quarter 1 is a little bit better, but the best quarter so far that I've seen since I've been trading and been paying attention and actually taking it seriously since 2023 has been summer quarter. Summer quarter has always been the best quarter with the most volume and stuff like that. So all the new traders and new investors, yes, the markets are kind of wonky and rangy right now, but this is the best time to really lock in and learn, because if you can trade during these conditions when the volume's coming in, you're going to have a great time, versus when people try to learn how to trade during the summertime, they can kind of get messed up because they get used to all that volume and the easy moves during the summer quarter and a little bit of the spring, but mostly the summer quarter. So when things slow down, they get confused, frustrated, or think that their strategy just doesn't work anymore. But what people got to understand is there's a bunch of different strategies, right? But the main thing that people struggle with, why people think certain strategies, well, okay, some strategies don't work, right? But for the most part, there's a bunch of strategies. There's not just one strategy. I'm not going to ever sit here and lie to you. I'm like, my strategy is the only strategy that works. It might be the best, but I ain't going to say it's the only one that works, right? So what really comes after that and why people struggle is because they might understand the strategy, but they still don't know how to read the charts properly. And then also they don't got the math down, which is risk management, risk reward, all that good stuff. Right, so that's what these books are going to drop in. I drop in, really talking about and break it down. Also, so it's a more affordable for more people to get it as well, because I know not everybody can afford or want to pay for the one-on-one sessions of the course. So this is a cheaper option for that as well. But yeah, it's very thorough. And it's, y'all gonna see, like I said, if y'all been following me on Instagram, TikTok, I posted a couple clips with the stuff in there yesterday, so y'all can kind of see what's going on. But y'all gonna see a lot more. Like I said, I'm not gonna put up on this live because I ain't practice doing all that stuff, and I ain't trying to show too much or pull up the whole thing. So just stay tuned for all that. So again, we got a retest going on with NAS100. Again, we're looking for buys if we can hold 2170 as support. If we can hold 2170 as support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 2300. All right, that's what we're looking at right now. Everything else, as we can see, is just still ranging. So there's no point in looking at these. Again, we're going to be looking for possible sells if GU can not only break, because we see breaking doesn't really do too much, but if it can also hold its resistance 2890. All right, so that's what we're looking for right here. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When looking at charts, drop them in the chat. 1 sec, I just came up with an idea, so I gotta write it down. But I don't know about y'all, but some ideas I remember, but the way my life's set up, I'll be doing so much, it's easy to forget stuff. So I always gotta, especially good ideas, I always gotta write them down. I got a bunch of different note sections with just ideas in the game plan. That's how y'all should do it as well. 1 sec. Let's go. Again, there's no news, so we're simply just waiting for volume and stuff. But we do have a new week. I mean, not a new week, obviously. A new week's happening next week, but a new month popping up as well as a new quarter next week. And like I always say, the first and last week of the month are typically the tougher weeks to trade because we have a lot of reports coming out and they kind of want prices to be at a certain place when these reports come out and all that good stuff. But also because we have a new month and quarter as well. So we're going to see how quarter 2 looks, but let me catch up to this chat real quick. Yeah, so I've already started doing that, but I'm going to be going over the course currently to see what needs to be updated. But I am doing a revamp. I always do a revamp every year. I revamped it last year. I'm going to revamp it this year as well. But there's a few things that I've improved on and changed up. So I'm going to add that on there. I'm also going to dive deeper into other things as well. So everyone that's already got the course, nothing's going to change depending on how I do it, because I'm still deciding if I just want to make it a whole new one or just update the current one. So that's why I already have a lot of videos for the revamp already. So now what I'm going to be doing this week and over the weekend is going over the current course, watching everything, seeing the topics and the subjects in the video, seeing what's good, seeing what I can update. Also, I'm gonna add all the other stuff I'm gonna be throwing in there as well, right? Because I'm gonna be going really, really a lot deeper on it as well in the course. I've been really for the past couple of months working on these books, right? Because making the course is easy, right? Me going on my computer and doing what I do, that's easy. But books took a lot more time because I had to first write like the chapters, figure out what I'm going to be talking about each chapter, then I had to get the pictures and like it's a whole like y'all going to see it's like a whole. It's literally like not just teaching and breaking down the stuff, but it's like a whole lesson. It's got like pop quizzes and that stuff. It's going to give you like homework, all types of stuff. So it's definitely going to help you a lot. Yeah, so stay tuned to that. See if you can break this lower right here. All right, so I'm going to be testing out today as well how I want it set up. That way I can pull it up a little bit too. But not today. But again, I got some posts on my Instagram and TikTok showing y'all a little bit of what's in it. So if you're not following Instagram, TikTok, y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_weight, TikTok, _playmaker_weight_. I post daily on both pages. Got a new video dropping today on YouTube as well. So Instagram and TikTok. I got a new video dropping at the beginning of the work session for y'all, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff lined up for y'all. I'm real excited, especially because this stuff was. I was like, man, this is not a simple. I mean, it's simple. It's just a lot of work. I was like, damn, this is not. This is why people pay people for shit. I ain't got nothing to do anyway, so let me figure this out and do it. But you know what? Speaking of which, Amazon is trifling. So let me tell y'all why Amazon was trifling. So while I was this weekend, while I completed a couple, because I got another book I made too, but that one, I'll talk about that later, right? There's a few books I made, but there's another one that's already out and open, but it's not related to trading. It's more like investing as a whole. But so while I was making the books and setting them up, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell them. How I'm gonna sell them. But I was like, maybe if I put them on Amazon too, I can get more traction. So I go to do the whole KDP process, and so they wording the term regulations. They're doing a bunch of like law and court lingo, overcomplicating stuff. Every word and term, 5 syllables and shit. I'm like, bro, y'all are purposely overcomplicating this, right? So they're like, okay, so you got 2 options: either getting 35% or 70%. So any person's going to think. So that's not what they said, though. The way they said it was like a royalty. So I was thinking, okay, they're taking 35%, I'm getting the rest. And I'm taking 70%, they're getting the rest. No. These motherfuckers wanted to only give me 35% and they take the rest. I said, that is robbery. So even if I charge a lot or charge a little, I'm going to be robbing y'all folks because it's not even going to be coming to me. It's going to be going to the billion-dollar industry. And I'm going to get into like not even half. So I was like, that is that is ridiculous. And then the 70% split. That's why we see a lot of ebooks. They be like 8-page ebooks that be always like between $5 or $9.99. The reason why a lot of people be dropping ebooks that be like $9.99, $5 and all that shit, because that's the only way you can get 70%. But it's like, but what is 70%? So I was like, that's ridiculous. So I had to find a whole nother thing. I figured that I already resolved the issue, but I was like, yo, Amazon's trifling. So all the motherfuckers that be selling on Amazon, unless, because Amazon do things, like they've done things for me on behind the scenes as well as any platform. Like when you reach a certain point, they will change it up for you. It's just like with Twitch, right? Or anything at all, even YouTube. They'll do extra things for certain people that they don't for other people. Like I'm not even one of the biggest YouTubers. They've given me some shit and perks and free stuff and extra money just cause, right? So I'm not gonna say it's like that for everybody, but they were trying to do that for me, and I was like, yeah, y'all got the game messed up. That ain't gonna work over here. So I was like, see, this is why y'all gotta read the fine print. Because anybody else would have just been like, okay, yep, agree. This is why you can't just be saying agree to stuff. You got to read the fine print. I would have been getting finessed. And then on top of that, they're going to hold my stuff for like a month plus before I can even get my. I was like, yeah, y'all robbing people out there. Y'all trying to finesse. No day trader. You can't finesse a day trader. Like, you already getting finessed in the market. But yeah, that was crazy. That was the nicest discovery I found yesterday. Not yesterday, over the weekend. New 5-minute about to pop up in a second, y'all. Let's see if GJ can break this lower again. We got an alert right here. We got a couple stuff we're looking at. But we're just really waiting for one to pick up, honestly. You see here now here. So again, we got the retest going on. This is why, again, I'm never in a rush to take trades, because the more you're on the charts, the more you recognize the behavior of the pairs in the charts. And, you know, it's going to help you save time and money, right? Because like I say, I also talk about this in the book, right? You see something once in the charts, you're going to see it twice. You see it twice, you're going to see it thrice. And you see it 3 times, you're going to see it every single day, every single week, right? So again, I've seen this happen before. Low volume, price push up, but just because price pushes up to these highs, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to break through them, right? So that's why I was like, we're going to wait to see if it's going to break through the highs to the left, or we're going to watch to see if it can hold this level as support. So again, imagine we would have went for a buy here, we'd be an unnecessary drawdown, right? Versus if we see price hold this level of support here, we can get a better buy setup, which will give us better reward ratio and all that good stuff, right? So then, when you know the charts, you never should be in a rush or feel like you need to hurry up and enter a trade or get out. Let's see what you check and break this. And let's also in this out so you can really see what we're talking about. So again, look at how price is reacting to this level. As soon as it touched it, right? You can literally see as soon as it touched it, how it rejected, right? So again, this is why we trade on and off these levels and we respect these rules. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna let GJ do this thing. Again, it made a higher high yesterday. Finally broke through that. So now we do got another level of traffic we're going to break through. Where you can see right here, this is a very strong support resistance level. Right, we can tell this is a very strong support resistance level. But just look at the rejections over and over again, as well as the struggle to break through it. Right? And we see here, it's the only time the price didn't really struggle when it came to this level. Why didn't it struggle? Was because it had volume and it just completely went through that level, right? But any other time it came to this price point, what do you see? A bunch of wickedness. That's just a mess right there, right? A whole bunch of choppiness, right? Rejection before, again, volume kicked in to break through that level. A whole bunch of choppiness and retest, right? Rejections, right? And you see here, price is still chilling here. So I'd rather see if we can hold this level or rather retest this level again. Now, I wanted to hold this level and keep on pushing. Right, in a perfect world, that's what would happen. But just because I want that to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I'm still going to just patiently wait to re-enter this. Right? I made a little bit of money yesterday off of this setup, off this one, made some bread off these. So, not in a rush. And then we had a good week last week, so I'm not in a rush to throw more money in the markets, especially if I don't see anything I really like. Let's see what we got up in here. What's going on, my boy? What's going on? I see you up in here. What else we got? When I say the book is a written version of the course, good question. So it has parts of the course in there. If I also do a book that was a written version of the course, that thing would be a big book, right? And yeah, so no, it'd be a big book. So no, so like I said, I've got a bunch of books dropping, and they're focused on certain things, right? So this one is going over how to actually read the charts, right? So again, it's not just how to read candlesticks or patterns. It's going over how to read those candlesticks and patterns and know what to do with them, right? Because a lot of times what you see online is, oh, when you see this pattern, that means do this. When you see this pattern, that means do that, right? But you can do this or do that, but then you don't know what to do next, right? You still are confused after you take the setup, what price is doing. Is it retracing? Is it rejecting? Should I keep holding? Should I close? Right? And the most important thing is, yeah, you might know when you see this counts or this pattern to do this, but you don't understand why, right? So again, there's still a lot of confusion and stuff like that. So this book dropping on Friday is going to be going over how to read the charts, the rules of the charts, the rules to the uptrend, the rules to the downtrend, how to know at all times what price is going to be most likely doing, and what to do or what to look for. It's going to be a lot of stuff, right? I'm going to be posting more details today, going over all the details and stuff like that. But again, if you follow my Instagram, TikTok, I dropped a couple posts yesterday showing y'all a little bit of what's going on in that book. And like I'm gonna play around today I'm either gonna have photos on standby. I can just pull up screenshots of it. I'm gonna figure it out so on live so I can pull it up and reference the stuff as well, so y'all can see a little bit what's going on in there. But no, it's not gonna be the complete course because that'd be a big ass book, and it wouldn't be cheap, right? So that's why I'm doing the books as well. So the books are focused on certain parts, and that way it's a lot more affordable as well, right? So let me pull it up. I think I have it on my phone. I can pull it up on the Instagram, but I can pull it up and just talk about it. Pull it up. Yeah, but this one, because again, it's called Playmaker Way. It's called the Playbook, but we don't have any actual playbooks yet. So these are playbooks. So depending on the book you have, it's going to be a playbook based on that subject or based on whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about when my other stuff drops. But dropping them kind of one at a time. But this one is the price action technical analysis playbook, right? So this one's going to be going over how to read market flow and understand what's going on at all times, right? Because again, a lot of times we can be like, we see green, we think it means buys, or red means sells, or a lot of times, people also like getting caught up fake outs on liquidity sweeps. And if y'all been in the live streams or watch the Sunday chart analysis, New York price watch list, there's a bunch of times, a bunch of examples where I save y'all or point out where possible fake outs on liquidity sweeps can happen, right? Like literally, this was one right here, right? How many people do you think got fucked up here trying to rush the next buy setup, right? And then when it finally happened, they missed it or they was going for sales, right? Same thing here. Right? A lot of times people are like, oh, it just became liquidity here. They say that's true, but again, what I talk about in this book, what I talk about all the time in these lives is, again, these rules, right? So what I talk about is the rules to apply to make sure that you're not going for buys when you're going for sells, you're not going for sells when you're going for buys, and I'll show you when to wait. I go over the rules for the uptrend, the rules to the downtrend. I go over basically how price moves to a T. Like it's very, very, very in depth because if you do not understand, you're going to understand now that every candlestick that is formed, every move that price does can be explained, right? It's not just random stuff taking place and happening, right? There's no coincidences in the market. There's coincidences in the market. Price will not be reacting to the same level the same exact way over and over again. Price wouldn't be reacting to this level the same way over and over again. But it's again the same exact level, rejected, rejected again, rejected again, rejected again, right? So it goes over all that stuff. This one is going to be a playbook going over the market flow technical analysis. It shows examples of how price looks, and I also pull up actual charts showing you the method to the madness. It's got pop quizzes in there. homework assignment is, where you can kind of see for yourselves how this stuff works, and goes over in depth detail how the charts actually work. Again, it's not just, oh, this pattern is this pattern is that. I literally explain, break everything down to the T, and it's super simple, super clear. All right, so again, I'm gonna be posting more stuff later on today, but if y'all go on my Instagram or TikTok and go to some of my recent posts, you'll see some posts and you can see a little bit of what this book got going on. And I just realized I was looking at my other screen, so hopefully y'all could hear me, because I keep forgetting that when I be looking at my other screen, sometimes I sound quiet on the mic. It looks like GU is going to keep on pushing down. So again, we're going to see if we can hold this level as resistance. GN, as we can see, again, is just still ranging. Nothing we can do about that. Simply just waiting on volume. Simply just waiting on volume. Yeah, but like I said, I got a whole lot of stuff lined up for y'all, and I'm putting everything I know into these, and we have to change the game right here. All right, this just popped up. Yeah, we're just getting teased right now. That's honestly what we're doing. Let's see some action. Plays it on the second. Yeah, so you want to learn everything and have it be step by step. The process, the course is going to be the best thing, because the course, I literally break down step by step the whole process, step by step, how to read the charts. And all these books I'm dropping, everything I'm talking about in these books, I talk about in the course as well. So the course is in order, step by step, the process that I learned and that I recommend y'all learn how everything works, right? So in the beginning of the course, we go over first the right mindset and reality of trading. Then we go over how to read the charts, right? So all the stuff I've been talking about, we go over all that in the course, right? And once I make sure that you understand how to read the charts and all that stuff, then we go over price action, support, resistance, supply, demand. Then once we go over that and you understand how that works, then we go over how to mark off the key price levels. Then once we go over how to mark off the key price levels, then I show you step by step how I go about entering trades, the confirmations I look for to enter trades, how I figure out where my stop loss is going to be placed, TPs. Then I go over as well how to trade news. I go over my buy and sell limit strategy, because there is a buy and sell limit strategy. And speaking of which, because the markets are slow as fuck, I might start using that again. I haven't used it in a minute, but the volume's been dead. And I used to use this buy and sell limit strategy a lot back when I was working, right? So everyone knows, if you don't know, I used to work 2 jobs, like blah, 16-hour days, only had 1 full day off, half days, blah, right? But after I figured out trading, I quit one of those jobs. I only had 1 full-time job, and I was making that part-time job. I was making a part-time job income, I should say. I was working 2 full-time jobs, but I was going to quit on those jobs. Well, I quit both of those jobs, and I got a better job. That was a full-time job, and then when I was working during the day, and then I was trading at night and going into work, right? So again, I made trading so popular at my job. I was known as the trading dude. Like they had a band trading group, all the computers. Um, had like a couple people. If you're watching, so shout out to you. A couple people from my last job I worked. Me on the background just trading stuff. But if you're still watching, shout out to you. But yeah. So I was making my part-time income with trading, but I was working a 9 to 5, a little 9 to 5, and I was selling insurance, so I couldn't really manage my trades. And plus, I didn't want everybody in my job to know what I was doing, like money-wise, what I was making. So I was on TradingView at work, but as far as managing the trades, I managed them on my phone. But I had a certain buy and selling strategy I'll use during the week, especially when I was working on the 2 jobs, to help me not even have to look at the chart. So I go over that in the course. And again, I'm against indicators, but the reason why I'm against indicators is because the way they're molded to be used isn't good, and because they're also a tool, right? It's a tool. It's like what's a good example? I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to find an example of what it would be essentially. I can't even think of a good analogy. I'm usually the analogy king. I can't even think of a good analogy. But basically, an indicator is a tool, right? But it's not supposed to be used solely, right? It's supposed to be an extra confirmation. But what people use indicators for is not as an extra confirmation. They use it as the confirmation, right? Once this blue line crosses the red line, like I'm about to diffuse a bomb, I enter a buy or sell. But I go over in there how to actually use the indicator, and I go over these indicators. And obviously, I don't use these anymore, but I go over them because they actually do work good if you know what you're doing. And again, they're good for extra confirmation. So I give my indicators away in there. I think I'm missing a couple things. But yeah, so that's all that, and a few more things is in the course. As well as the course, you get access to the student and member group chat, and then you also get access to the weekly New York high impact news lives with the members of students of the Advanced Place Sitting Room, as well as y'all get access and y'all get sent every day the New York Price Watch to the Advanced Place Sitting Room. So again, not only do y'all have literally step by step how I do all the stuff, the method to the madness, but for life, you'll also get daily analysis to help y'all look for setups. Right. And again, if you know how to read charts, the New York Price watch list, I have members that miss my signals and they just take trades based off the New York Price watch list or the Sunday chart analysis. And I also got members that take my trades, but also take more setups based off the New York Price watch list, right? And the New York Price watch list is like the Sunday chart analysis, but versus the Sunday chart analysis that I dropped in the free signal for Telegram, first link in the description, the Sunday chart analysis is more of a broader range and projection I see price doing throughout the entire week. With the New York Price watch list, I go over the game plan for every day. So, okay, boom, it's New York session. These are the charts I'm looking at. I can see buys at this price going to this price, sells from this price going to this price. I'm not looking at these charts. I do that every single day for the members and students, all that stuff. I almost gave away some of the extra stuff and the things I'm adding to the course when it gets revamped and the revamp drops. But there's a few more things I'm adding to the course as well. But as of the course right now, that's all the stuff that is included. So again, the books are like sections of the course. And when all the books come out, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? So each playbook is going to be focused strictly on certain subjects or aspects of trading. Versus the course is me step by step breaking down everything, right? In order, all that stuff, right? So that's the differences between the books and all this. And again, this is why we confirmations. Imagine if we would have been impatient, we'd be in an unnecessary drawdown right now and have potential of losing money for no reason. Right? I go over this in the books as well, all this stuff. So again, I'll see the method to the madness. Same thing here. This is why, again, sometimes it sucks, but guess what? Would you rather be impatient and have a 30% win rate and lose a bunch of money and cancel out your losses? Or would you rather be patient at a high 80 to 90% win rate on a weekly, monthly basis and the trades you take, you make money, right? I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather sit in my hands and wait. I already, maybe because I already had that phase, right? I already had that phase of just jumping into everything and blowing accounts, right? So maybe because I'm already had that phase, I'm tired of it. And sometimes it's just part of the trading journey. Sometimes you might have to blow an account. But that's why I do what I do to make it almost impossible for y'all to get an account, right? But I'm blowing a lot of money in the past, so maybe it's out my system. That's why I'm so strict now. Well, I know that's why I'm strict, right? Because all these rules I have, everything I tell y'all not to do, I used to do. That's why I don't do it no more. Everything I tell y'all to do, I used to not do. And when I started doing it, I started seeing the results. So that's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the markets are just extremely fucked right now. The markets aren't usually like this, right? But again, this is the best time to learn because if you can trade during choppy conditions, like I talked about earlier, when the volume comes in, you're gonna have a great time. Versus if you start trading when the volume is crazy and good, that's why a lot of traders are kind of struggling right now. Like I don't know how y'all's algorithms looking on TikTok, bro. Every 3 trading posts, people are talking about how fucked the markets are, right? Now, again, the markets are choppy and messed up. But a lot of people are struggling is because they were so used to summer quarter, all those crazy moves every day, every session. And then when quarter 4 came, things slowed down. But if y'all was here during July, August, September, remember, and y'all can go to, well, I don't know if I said the every fucking live stream, so maybe not do that. But if y'all was here, y'all remember during the summertime, I was like, look, take advantage of the summer quarter because when quarter 4 pops up, especially November, December, the markets are going to slow down and these are going to get tougher, right? And that's exactly what happened, right? So again, this is the best time to really lock in and learn this stuff because if you get trade during the choppy conditions when the volume is moving and flowing, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. And that's also why people get messed up because they think, oh, because trading is easy, but when there's a lot of volume, moves are happening quicker. You're in and out of trades quicker. You're making a lot more money. Moves surpass your TPs, all that good stuff. So you get used to that because we do a lot of things on routine. We are beings of habit. So it's natural for that to happen. So then when a abrupt change happens and you're not prepared or understand what's going on, that's where all confusion and stress and shit be taking off and popping off. Yep. So that's why we stick to these rules and wait for those confirmations. They just started. Again, we caught a nice move last night on DJ, so it's not like we didn't take any crazy after the day or for the week. So appreciate that, my boy. What's going on, Brad? I see you. Yeah. So some parts I can use AI for, but other parts I can't, right? Because again, I don't really do things the same as most traders do, right? So I tried that in the beginning, but they were using a lot of lingo that I'm against and I don't use. So I was like, it doesn't even sound like me. So for the most part, that's why it took me so long, because I had to literally type the stuff out, right? Because the stuff I break down in the And of course, it's not like you just see popularly broken down or how the charts are broken down or explained. So, I did try that, but for some parts I could, but for 90% of the book I'm talking about that's dropping on Friday is all me, right? And then like out of the 10%, like 8% that's not me is like the pictures, and then like 2% is like AI. But all that stuff is I had to type like the whole. I don't know if script's the right word, but like all the chapters, all the paragraphs, all the sentences, and that book was all me. Only thing I really used AI for was like the summary or whatever. Now, a couple of my other books I maybe can, but not for this subject. Like for my other subjects and stuff, AI works super simple and easy. If we're trading, especially what I'm trying to break down, I had to, put it in my own words. That way, when y'all read it too, it sounds like I'm yelling at y'all too. You're gonna hear my head while y'all read it. You're gonna hear me in y'all's head while y'all reading it. But yeah, sounds like way right there. So let's see what we got up in here. New 15 just popped up. I appreciate you. That's why I do this, y'all. That's why I do this, right? You know what I mean? Because again, when I was learning all this, I learned all this the hard way. All the stuff I teach, I learned on my own. Now, I didn't want it to be that way. I paid for stuff. But, it was just that. Like, people aren't really trying to teach. People actually don't know what they're talking about, right? So that's why when I figured it out, I started sharing information, teaching, giving free stuff out, free plays. Because I knew it was possible once I figured it out and I saw myself, not just from other people, posting more possible. I was like, okay, now I need to show other people it's possible, because a lot of people, like I made a post, I couldn't post it on Instagram because Instagram don't let me post, at least for me, it don't let me post things longer than a minute and a half. And this post was like 2 minutes. I posted it on TikTok, and it was like this dude. It was funny too. It was kind of hilarious. It's kind of sad at the same time, but that's how most people think, right? That's why I always post. There's two different types of people in the world: there's winners and losers, problem finders and solution makers, right? So basically, this dude went on a rant, and the way he was ranting, you would think that he lost thousands of dollars in the market. He might have, and he might be lying about it. Long story short, he was like, his caption was "traders are cornballs." And he was like, you know no way to piss off a day trader? Tell them they're not going to be profitable in 6 months. And I was like, bro, you tell that to anybody in any profession or trying to pursue something, they're going to take offense to that. Like, it's not just strictly if you tell a day trader they're not going to succeed in 6 months, they're going to get upset. You tell that to anybody they're not going to succeed in 6 months, right? And he proceeds to go on about his reasonings, right? Again, it still doesn't make any sense. He's like, you only seen a small success story, but most people fail. I'm like, most people fail at everything in life. Think about sports. You think everybody that plays sports in high school or college went to the league? No. Think about instruments. You think everybody that played in trumpet and band class went to the fucking orchestra? No. Even jobs, trades and other jobs, right? Like, there's people that don't succeed and people want to fail. But what I talk about all the time, when it comes to day trading, that success and failure rate isn't really a success and failure rate. It's a success and quitting rate, right? Because if you think that people are just naturally gifted at day trading and who never lost a trade of loan an account, especially when they're learning on their own, you're out of your mind. They're lying to you. Now, granted, if they learned and started day trading and holding their hand at the beginning, maybe they can say that stuff. when you're an average person and you're learning a new skill or specialization, you're going to lose some money. You're going to account for a challenge as part of doing that. So the people in the comments were like, sounds like, you're an unprofitable trader. And he was like, oh, I'm not dumb enough to ever try. So I was like, why the fuck are you making this post targeted at day traders when you're claiming that you're not even tried or attempted it, but you're so confident that this is risky and it doesn't work? So I'm like, this dude's either lying, or again, that's how the majority of people on the internet are, right? So just think about it. You see a post where people are like, oh, this is how you can do this, or this is how you can do that. You go to the comments. What are 99% of the comments? 99% of the comments are the 99% that quote unquote failed, right? What did they say? Oh, if it was that easy, why isn't everybody not doing it? Because the same reason why you're in the comment section saying that dumb shit, because you don't want to do it, or you think it can't be happening or possible, right? So we see all these negative comments. Understand that these people, one, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or they can't get over the time where they got hurt or they failed, so now they want to push their insecurities onto everybody else, or they never tried it before, right? Because again, like, all these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? That's like the people you go online with like a lamboraul sports car. Like, yes, you can rent a lamboraul sports car, but like, I'll see comments like where I remember this other day. Now, actually, I see this comment all the time, which is kind of concerning, right? Where people be like, "Oh, if you was really a millionaire, you wouldn't be on TikTok right now." So I'm like, so according to this guy, people that are successful don't have cell phones or access to the internet or social media, right? So you gotta block out the noise. You just gotta lock in, y'all. You gotta block out the noise. You gotta lock in, y'all. Because again, right? Even with me, when I was learning how to trade, right? People was looking at me like, "What are you doing? You're actually making money doing it, right? Are you actually making money? Are your bills getting paid?" I'm like, I promise. In the beginning, I wasn't, but like when I figured the shit out, and I, quit my jobs, I was doing this and some other businesses. I was doing this, and I was like, a lot of people were like, there was like kind of pushing their doubt onto me, right? They were like, "Are you actually making money? Like, does this actually work? Like, that sounds risky." I'm like, "Yeah, it's risky. So, you know how many risks I taken in life doing dumb shit? If I could take a bunch of risks in life doing dumb stuff, I could take a risk and do something that's actually going to help me accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish." Okay? So again, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you guys stick to these rules. Because again, imagine we would have took a buy setup here. We would have took an unnecessary loss for no reason when all we had to simply do was wait for confirmations. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's important to wait, stick to confirmations and rules. So at this point, we're either going to wait to see if price is going to reattempt to break back above that, or we're going to watch to see how price reacts to 20, right? If price can still hold 2020 as support, we can look for buys. Now, again, like we talked about in yesterday's live and the Sunday chart analysis, we just had a reversal take place for the past couple of weeks. We had extreme NAS100, but the past couple low. And then to start off the week Sunday night, we had a gap which confirmed the reversal. This resistance level got broken and price pushed up here. Now we see prices at this current resistance level here. Now again, for price to go up, it's going to have to turn this resistance level into a support, right? Like we see right here. So that's what we're looking at right now. So at this point, we're going to see price break this level, trade support, and push up. We're going to see retracement of price try to fill this gap up. I don't want to see price do. I mean, if it fills the gap up, cool, but I don't want to see it reject past this level because I'll bring us back into ring around the loser territory. Again, I'm focused on which direction we're going and having some volume, so we can have a good time in the markets, right? But this is why it's important to stick to your rules. Don't formal in, formal out, or be in such a rush to put your hard-earned money into the markets, Joe. All right, new video dropping today. You're in New York session. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description below for Telegram, y'all. Make sure to link how to identify these levels by seeing themselves on a mentorship program. Make sure to hit those links in the description again. One of the first books of this playbook series is dropping on Friday, and more information to come. But you gotta be following me on these platforms so you know what's going on. I might post a couple things in the Telegram as well, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But yeah, we'll be back at gold. We take a look at gold real quick. So gold, we are technically bullish still in a second. Okay, cool. So gold, we are still technically bullish, but we're retracing. Right, this is what we was talking about last week, how we could expect a retracement. So at this point, we can look for buys if it can hold and respect 3010 as support. But as we see, it's kind of low volume struggling. But the uptrend is not going to really be back into play unless we can break back above and hold 3034 as support, right? That's what we're watching. So you can see some buys here, but it's going to need to hold and respect this level as support in order for that to happen. Now, if it rejects this low, starts treating 1030.08 as resistance, we can see price will trace back down to possibly 29.86. Right now, I wouldn't say if we break down to this level, we being sells. It really depends on how price plays out today and tomorrow. But again, we had a huge push to the upside, huge higher high get made, and we broke a bunch of levels that we're going to have to retest at some point on top of gold, making new all-time highs again. So, you know, after all-time highs are made, you know, retracement is right around the corner and bound to happen. You get what I'm saying? But that's what's going on with gold. I appreciate that I'm in favor. Yeah, so I go over how to trade the levels and stuff like that in the one of the sections in the playbook course that's linked in the description, y'all. Yeah. I was trying to think. Yeah, it's not in this book. Yeah, so you want to learn how to identify these levels step by step. I highly recommend investing in the one-on-one sessions or the course, right? The reason why is because I can tell you how to do this right now, but you're still not going to know how to do it yourself. Like I can literally go on live right now and mark these levels off, and you're going to be confused. Guaranteed it. Why? Because I've done it before and people are confused, right? Because again, it's not just simply support resistance level. It's a whole method to the madness. All right, y'all. Get a new video dropping today at the beginning of New York session, y'all. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. And we'll be back live and at it same time tomorrow, London session 3 EST.